Do you want some milk?
Okay, we're continuing on with puzzle 13. We've gone through and we've put in one of the objects that's kind of coming down. Now, notice as you're creating this game, they're having you use platforms that they've come up with and the star that they've come up with, but you don't have to use all the stuff that they've done. You can get your own stuff and customize it according to what you think your game should look like. And in the end, that's probably what the last lesson is going to be, is to customize this and make it kind of your own type game. For now, I'm just following the instructions that code.org has given us, but if you want to, instead of having this little star come down, if you want to have something else like a coin or some other object for someone to collect, a soda can or candy bar that the alien collects, then you can substitute that in and not have to use the little star that they've come up with. So to make your second item, you'll copy and paste the code for your first item to create a second item. Remember, this is done a lot easier in text mode, so be sure to try it out if you haven't already. You'll need to copy two parts of your code: the part at the beginning where you make the item, and the part in your loop item function where you loop the item back to the top of the screen. So you're going to copy the code you used to create the first item sprite and paste it directly beneath the original code. So in our code, we've got var star1 equals create sprite. And so then we're just going to take those 3 lines where we create the sprite, we set the animation, and we set the velocity y. And we just control C, and then we're going to push enter, control V. You need to change the name of the sprite in the new lines. For example, if you name the original sprite star, you can name this one star 2. We named it star 1. We're going to change it to star 2. And then we've got to set the animation and set the velocity. And then inside the loop items function, you got to copy the if statement, paste it directly beneath the original code inside the function still, and change the sprite name in the new lines of code. So in our loop function here, we have if star 1 dot y is greater than 410. Then we're going to do all this stuff to star 1. So we're just going to take that whole if statement, copy, and then we're going to paste that in place, making sure it's inside that function still, and we change all of these star 1s to star 2. So then we get star 2.x, star 2.y, and then as we run it, we now will end up with 2 items that will come down at a random location. They're going to be going at the same speed because we set the speeds to be the same, and then when they come back, they'll be kind of in a different location than they were at first. So there we have lesson or puzzle 13. We've set our 2 items. We have them looping. We're going to finish this section, and then we're going to continue with 14 in this video here. So now that we've got the items and the platforms, we've got to create our player. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to create the sprite. So we can create your player sprite just like the item sprites. The player sprite will fall from the top of the screen. Unlike the items, your player sprite will get faster as it falls, just like real falling objects. This is what allows it to jump up and then fall back down. So we need to create the sprite here at the beginning. So we'll just do it underneath of the items that we already made, which was the star. So var player equals create sprite. We're gonna and then starting position that you put on your worksheet. So this is the worksheet that we downloaded last time. So let me pause this recording and pull that up for you. So here's that project guide that we got offline. And you can see here that they have the X at 200 and the Y at 0. So no rotation or velocity. So we're just starting it right in the middle at the top. So in here, we're going to start at X is at 200 and Y is at 0. And then what we need to do is we need to set the animation for our player. So we're going to say in the next line here, player.set animation, and then the animation is called, I believe, is alien. So we're going to set the animation here to alien. Right there, alien. And we put a semicolon. And then we're going to create a player fall function that makes the sprite fall from the top of the screen. The code inside the function should use velocity y in a counter pattern, just as when you made the falling rock in lesson 17, level 4. So this can get kind of tricky because you think that you want to just set the velocity and you make it constant. That's not true. A counter pattern means that we set something equal to itself. So it's going to speed up as it goes down. So we're going to make a player fall function, not with 0 there. And we'll make a capital F. And then down here, we're going to do function player fall. And then we are going to set the velocity of our player. So we're going to say player dot velocity y equals velocity y equals player dot velocity y plus 0.1. Okay, and so what this does is each time it goes through the draw loop, it's going to add 1 to the player y's velocity, so it's going to speed up as it's going down. You can see in the example here that it kind of starts slow, and then it just speeds up and it falls down. And so the same thing should happen in our example over here. So since I have it on 0.1, it's going rather slow, but you can see it's starting to speed up as it goes down. So you might want to speed this up just a little bit for the purposes of our game. So let's make it 0.5 instead of 0.1, and then see kind of how that goes. There we go. And so now it's going to start falling quite a bit quicker. You could even make it 1 if you really want to go that quickly, but remember, this is the counter pattern, and we're not just setting a velocity and letting it fall. We're letting the velocity increase the further it goes down the screen. And that completes it for puzzle 14 and completes it for this video. We'll pick up with puzzle 15 in the next video.